suffering. Why do you think there's a huge disconnect in the food that we have on our plate? Is it because there's so many steps in between and people are not seeing that connection, from the agricultural land and the livestock to the plate? Like, what is it?
Personally, I just think it's selfish. If you're only thinking about yourself and how things only affect you, not without thinking about the wider picture, it's kind of senseless. As you get older, at least most people, they tend to want to give and give. It's a lot.
At Anaheim Convention Center at the Natural Products Expo West is bananas here. And we have so many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of exhibitors, from supplements to different types of food products to snacks. It's a trade show, and it combines culinary partners, many different food industry leaders, from manufacturing to processing to retail to vendors to grocery markets. My job is to cover the event and also just kind of ask different types of exhibitors on what's on the up and up. What are the current trends? Organic foods, what's going on with plant-based movements, what's going on with social impact, what's going on with climate initiatives, and see if we are pushing the envelope and if we're making a difference. So join me as I interview some of these exhibitors, and let's go have some fun. So, hello everyone, I'm Dr. Colin Zhu. We are here live at Natural Products Expo West. I'm joined by Derek Sarno, one of the co-founders of Wicked Foods and Wicked's Kitchens. Thank you so much for being on.
Pleasure to be here, man.
This is, I've been following your company for a while, and I love the mission, how the mission and the vision is all about eating more plant-based, but how that, contributes to our overall community and global environment. Why was this important for you to, create from the get-go?
For me, my personal reason, and my brother, is I understand the whole health aspect of it, because we worked on all the health programs when we were at Whole Foods. It's all for the animals, for us, and that in turn just means for the planet as well. So we want to try to alleviate as much suffering as possible while we're here on Earth, and that's why we just create food without animals, plant-based, because that option hasn't been here. It's just so new, and we like to just pioneer that and make sure that there's an option in every category for you to choose that.
Yeah.
If you don't want, because so many people they want to eat healthier, they want to eat plant-based, but don't have a really good choice. Except for now. Now it's a boom.
Yeah.
This place is amazing,
And you guys started around 18?
We launched into Tesco in 2018, as the largest vegan brand, which was awesome. We launched over 20 products, from ready meals, salads, fresh pizzas, sandwiches, and then in 6 months we doubled the range because it was so successful. And now we're in America, 5 years later.
Yeah, that's awesome. For those of you who don't know you, do you come from a culinary background, yeah?
Yeah, I've been a chef all my life. I've owned restaurants. I used to be the global chef for Whole Foods Market, worked for Tesco as their plant-based head of innovation, and now have Wicked.
Are you classically trained?
I went to school for a very short time. I believe in a mentor and I'm a quiet person, so I like to work with one person who's really good and just model them. And so that's all I did when I was growing up, learning how to cook from really good chefs.
Yeah. In the medical world, we call that shadowing. So, yeah, exactly. What would you say, for the, chefs and the budding chefs that are out there, why do you think this way of cooking is important in their world?
Look, I think it's important, no matter how you cook, is just to have an open mind and a broad sense of knowledge. And for me, it's all about technique, because haven't been vegan all my whole life. I've been vegan for the last 7 years. But I have cooked a lot of animals in the past, which I'm not proud of, but I do take that experience now and I just wind it into what I do. So all those techniques we learned classical, it's just a matter of a few tweaks and making them healthier.
It's being as creative as possible. So because without that, we're not able to like kind of circumvent and go around things. What is it for people that don't understand the connection with the animal suffering? Why do you think there's a huge disconnect in the food that we have on our plate? Is it because there's so many steps in between and people are not seeing that connection, from the agricultural land and the livestock to the plate? Like, what is it?
Personally, I just think it's selfish. If you're only thinking about yourself and how things only affect you, not without thinking about the wider picture, it's kind of senseless. As you get older, at least most people, they tend to want to give and give. It's a long story for me because I used to live in a Buddhist monastery. Practicing compassion is all about taking other people's suffering on, and when you start to do that, you really want to help alleviate it. And so the best way I can do that with my tools is knowing how to cook, is to provide an option so you don't have to eat an animal, and then they don't have to be killed.
And especially all living things, especially the ones with, without a voice, and it's giving that compassion and that empathy, like you said.
It's really important to me. It's not something we talk about all the time, because it's all about what's going to change people's minds is having great tasting food. First and foremost, if it doesn't taste good, forget it. So that's our priority, but our reasons behind it and why we do it is the reason to increase compassion.
Yeah, that's awesome. I train at the Natural Gourmet Institute in Manhattan, and if it doesn't look good or it doesn't taste good, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So what's next in terms of the trends that you're seeing and the forecast? 3 to 5 years from now, where do you think we're headed with all this?
I think the plant-based is just going to continue to grow. I think the cellular cultivated meat will start coming up a lot more. And then what I work on in my pastime, if anybody follows me on social media, is mushrooms as a whole food, because it's a whole food. Yeah. It's not a processed plant-based meat. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but people find an excuse for everything of not to do something. So I make mushrooms into like huge, amazing, meaty steaks.
Do you grow your own?
No, but I befriend every mushroom grower I possibly can. And that's where it's at, right?
Yeah.
You just, people are like, oh, where do you get those mushrooms to do that? I'm like, find the growers in your area and make friends with them. That's it. Yeah. Local, That's
awesome. Well, I wish you much, much success. I know, you're here with your food truck, but yours is a much bigger operation. So I really appreciate it, everything that you do, you and your brothers. So, keep on doing it. So
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem.